right. Good evening, SpeedGaming again. Back to some more Super Metroid, this time Randomizer Edition. My name is Tracy M. With me is Derp. How you doing, Derp?
I'm doing pretty good. It's currently 11 p.m. my time, so I am hoping for a long best of 3 here, but that will mean I will be up for a while. But I'm really excited to watch this one.
Yeah, and to be honest, we may not be able to get to all 3 if we go best of 3. There is a Super Mario Brothers randomizer, Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer that's after us, but hopefully we can fit some of these in. We do have FreyasSpirit versus ShinyZeni. Should be an interesting one. Zeni, well known for his hundo and RBO prowess, a little less experience with randomizer. Freya's a very good runner in their own right. Maybe a little more experience with randomizer, and they're off.
Yeah, I think both of these runners are very good mechanically, obviously. Both have very good execution, especially Zeni, but neither one has a ton of experience with randomizers, so I am interested to see how they do things compared to what you'll see the top randomizer runners do.
They're going to moonfall their way down. We'll see with that first item. So this is the dash, a version of the dash randomizer. If those of you may be familiar with the dash randomizer, we didn't keep all the changes. A couple of things that we did keep. So we do have what's called a starter charge beam, which will do 1/3 the damage of the regular charge beam. So essentially it'll do just regular beam damage, but it'll be charged shots. Gravity suit does give half heat protection, so a little bit of, you might see a little bit of lower Norfair as Zeni. Okay, Zeni with the safest mask on. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's in the game. He's ready to go.
He is ready to go.
Dialed in, as they say.
Those are the I would say the biggest changes. The ammo counts are a little bit different. Ooh, and a reserve tank is our first non-morph item. Freya's does a nice job with the D-boost getting that.
So I actually prefer going into this room early on if you find add morph in randomizer.
Yeah,
I think it's a little bit faster. It's not like a huge deal. And like I said, Zeni isn't super familiar with randomizers, so might not be comfortable with all the movement, but I believe it does come out to be a little bit faster. Either way, they are going to get early super missiles, so there's going to be no potential spore spawn shenanigans. Hopefully, could still be power bombs at spore spawn.
Yeah, that kind of thing doesn't happen quite as much on this version of the randomizers, though. For those of you that are familiar with the Varia randomizer that the league uses, so I expect the power bombs should be readily available, but you never know.
And we got some synced elevator rides here. Zeni, of course, as expected, having some of the best movement in the randomizer tournament, so going to be a couple seconds ahead, but not too far. And Freyas is, of course, doing well for themselves. So we will see what is at the bombs location, because it does need to be an item to get them past the bomb blocks in criteria here. So there's a couple options that it could be.
Yeah, so it could be regular bombs, it could be a speed booster, or it could be a screw attack.
I believe regular bombs are the most likely out of the 3, so I'm kind of hoping we see it, because I really enjoy seeing the Bomb Chorizo fight with super missiles, although I imagine the runners are less enthusiastic, but it is going to be the screw attack instead, so a nice luxury item to have early. Could potentially open up a gauntlet check if they want to do that. And they won't, but it is open.
They could do the front of the gauntlet isn't too bad with screw attack, although no E-tanks and just a reserve. Still pretty, not really the safest thing ever. Most likely we're going to find power bombs pretty soon, but it looks like Zeni is going to do it.
He's thinking about it. He's going to do it, so part of the reason you'll see early gauntlet checks normally is because you also want to check the minor items, because they can contain your first super missile or potentially power bomb pack if you find early bombs. But Zeni won't have that open to him. He will only have the item. And you'll see he's taking a save here. What he's going to do is, if he doesn't like the item that he finds at gauntlet, he's just going to reset and start back at the ship instead of going all the way back through the first room of Gauntlet, because it is a little bit faster. Theoretically, it's slower if he finds a good item, but there's also a good chance that he just finds a reserve tank or an E-tank, and then he has the knowledge of that item, and he doesn't need to go all the way back through the room. So it comes out.
I saw the statement in chat that Gauntlet Screw Attack is free, and I would agree with lots of E-tanks. This is still just one E-tank and one reserve. Zeni doing very well, but it's very easy to slip. He's going to take this energy tank, it looks like. And I'm surprised. I would have thought he'd reset up for that.
Oh yeah, runner of Zeni's caliber, I'm very surprised isn't just resetting over an early E-tank, because he's going to find plenty of those. Speaking of which,
right here.
he's already found 2, one at Terminator and one at Brinstar Reserve. There's a nice little thing you can do. Does Freyas know about it? You can actually check the second item behind the missiles, the first missile here with Screw Attack. We'll see if Freyas doesn't look like they're going to go for it. It's a bit of an obscure trick, excuse me, something that doesn't come up very often, so hopefully that isn't a potential first powerbomb location. I don't know if it can be with this logic, but hopefully it's not.
Yeah, like I said, the powerbomb situation, it could be. I mean, there's no reason it could be a powerbomb. Might not gonna be. It shouldn't be the only one available. But the way the dash randomizer places the minor items is not quite the same as the Varia, where they actually there's like a specific powerbomb that's your first powerbomb, and there's not going to be anything before it. Whereas this is just going to make sure that there is a powerbomb available somewhere. And in fact, Freyas just found one. Now the interesting question is, does Freyas go back to the Edakun's location to check for the major item there?
Doesn't look like it. I think if you're doing that, you don't want to go down those crumble blocks. And it looks like Freyas, they want a super missile. There's a super missile pack right there, but they want that in order to check wave gate. You could do that with a super missile or wave beam, which they currently do not have access to.
You're definitely not going to come back with wave beam. It is fully in logic to get that item without the wave beam. It's a reverse gate glitch. Not too hard if you're experienced running like this.
No, he tried it once and immediately gave up. Luckily, we know that it's not going to punish him any, but would have liked to see it.
And there's that first try gate glitch.
First try. There's a couple different setups you can use for that. What most people normally do is they find space jump, which is going to be a nice item. I'll talk about that in a bit, but there's a couple of different setups you can use to get that gate glitch. You can either do a little bit of a turnaround in the doorway, or you can do what Freyas did and actually just move yourself forward a couple pixels. Generally, most people do the turnaround. It's a little bit easier, but either way it works. Whatever gets the super missile into the button is generally good.
Also, you could use Moonwalk for it. That's what I do. That's what a lot of runners do. Of course, there are a handful of runners that don't use Moonwalk. We already saw that these runners both use it, though. I kind of don't like Freyas orphaning that Edakun's check. Didn't go back for it. You might come back with Speed Booster. Now there's 2 items because you'd come back for Waterway at the same time. But if that item at Edakun's is something good, then you're gonna be missing out on it. Now Zeni might also choose not to. Zeni is gonna go back for it, so this is gonna be a big moment in this match.
The one good thing for Freyas is that they have a lot of checks in that upper left area of the map with Gauntlet, Waterway, and Edakun's.
That's true. Gauntlet's also something.
If they can find Speed Booster, they're able to check all of those pretty quickly. So we might potentially see that, as they are actually going ship first. So kind of banking on finding potentially Speed Booster, but also other nice items at the ship. They do have very nice access to the ship with the space jump. Don't have to worry about any shenanigans there. This is definitely a bold call, though. And, I didn't see what was that.
I didn't see the item. Let's see. Okay, it was bombs. Thanks to our tracker, ShinyFace, best randomizer tracker in the business. And couldn't do this without him, so.
All right, so bombs, another kind of a luxury item. Not going to be super important, but the important thing is that Zeni now has knowledge of that, as well as the E-Tank and Gauntlet, where Freyas does not. So there is theoretically a world where Freyas goes and checks both of those items later and loses a bunch of time going through this area again. So it's not too bad for Zeni that he checked 2 items and they both came up empty.
And more interesting, we got Freyas having gone up. Like you said, good movement item with that space jump. We'll not be able to get all the items here unless we find a speed booster. That wreck ship reserve tank could be a thing. And if it's something and they can't get it, then could be advantage Zeni if Zeni just chooses to go down. If Zeni chooses to go up?
Freyas doesn't have a way to get to Fantoon. They don't have a power bomb.
Bombs.
I don't think these drop power bombs.
I don't think they do. I think they have to pretty much get... I mean, there might be like a 1% chance on some of the items that are sitting here.
I think they would be better off just going to farm the crabs.
Yeah, it's a long ways, but yeah, I mean, you're not going to get what you're looking for here, I don't think.
Well, there's your bombs payoff for Zeni.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talked about the bombs being a luxury item. Keeps you out of a lot of soft locks in a lot of places. Now, this, of course, is not a soft lock. But, you know, the bomb, when you only have 5 power bombs, it's rough.
Nope.
Oh, there,
got a power bomb. That was pretty quickly, all things considered.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that probably was... Yeah, that wasn't too bad. That did end up being probably quicker than going all the way back. But we actually have another issue here. It's a very low % chance, but it is non-zero that Fantoon will drop 0 power bombs. And if that's the case, Freyas will be soft locked.
Yeah, definitely. It is very important, and we're kind of showing that you know, the runners maybe not as comfortable in randomizers. It is very important to keep your power bombs high entering wreck ship without bombs because of this exact reason, basically. It's something that if you've run randomizers a lot, you'll kind of get used to.
Yep.
But like I said, Freyas and Zeni both don't have as much randomizer experience, so we'll see little mistakes like that. Hopefully it doesn't end in a bad way, though. We do see Zeni checking X-ray once again.
Just an
nothing
E-Tank.
there.
Now, nice thing here with Space Jump and Screw Attack X-ray is basically free. There's a reason why Hundo gets it with those items. Okay, Freyas does finish off Fantoon. Moment of truth.
Well, we got a bit before the drops actually appear.
Get to go through the explosion.
I didn't know you could actually moonfall all the way to the left there.
Okay, I have 1 power bomb. Oh my god. Okay, I hope Freyas thinks to farm some of these power bombs from the bulls coming up, because they need more. They need some more. There's a few more soft lock places coming up if they decide to go do the wreck ship attic.
So the issue here right now. This is an issue for sure.
Okay.
I was gonna say they couldn't check right side super missiles.
Still, yeah, I was gonna say this is still a problem. I think there's a possibility. I guess we're gonna have to try farming again, but I don't know what these atomics really like to give big energy, and when they don't give big energy, they tend to give missiles or supers.
Yeah, I don't know what the power bomb drop chance for those are.
My guess is in that 1% range.
I think they were looking it up there.
Yeah, and you know what? That's not a terrible idea. To make sure that there's even the possibility. Don't want to reset if it's possible that you can get one, because we're already 13 minutes in. That's going to spot Zeni a 13-minute lead if there's a reset here.
Yeah, there is 3 of these enemies, so I believe there's a 2 out of 102 chance or something like that of them dropping power bombs. So, doing the math, there's like a less than 6% chance that they get a power bomb in each given trip to this room. And for those of you who maybe aren't so good at math, we'll be here a while.
Yeah, Zeni doing a nice job with the quick kill. Gets a high jump boots for his trouble. And kind of just staring at those 2 powerbomb drops that Kraid gave and wishing that one more of those had gone to Freyas on the Phantoon.
Yeah, so we'll see where Zeni decides to go from here. I imagine he does the standard Bubble Mountain checks. He's got plenty of health, and Space Jump plus Screw Attack allows you to do the hail runs. I was going to say heck, and then I didn't. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
But you can do the heck runs much easier with those items.
Yeah, Space Jump and Screw Attack make the hell run to Bubble Mountain pretty easy. Get a Wave Beam. That's a nice item.
Yeah, a lot of luxury items so far early on. The Screw Attack, Space Jump, Wave Beam, you could argue. Bombs, you could argue. One notable thing about the Wave Beam is that with the starter charge beam, your special beam attacks will deal full damage. So that does open up some possible X Factor strats on the later bosses for Zeni, even if he doesn't find charge beam. So we'll see what he decides to do with that. I'm right about that, right? Special beam attacks aren't decreased? Okay.
Special beam attacks are full power. And another power bomb pack for Zeni, but Zeni's fine because Zeni's got regular bombs. This not check. You know, it's funny because we saw that it was bombs at the Edecoons, and we thought, well, okay, you know, it's a nice luxury item. It shouldn't hurt Freyas for skipping that too much. And then, yeah, this happened. And Zeni's skipping an E-Tank when hell runs are on the table. I'm a little surprised about that. Granted, I mean, he is the RBO king. So these hell runs will actually be pretty easy for him because, like we said, we had this Space Jump and the Screw Attack. But, you know, the extra E-Tank doesn't hurt.
I'm surprised he didn't take it more so just for the refill on health.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is part of the reason. Shout out to Macnol following Freyas, by the way. But part of the reason people normally check ice and then high jump in randomizers, if you aren't safe scumming ice, is because you can potentially get a refill of health at high jump if it's an E-Tank like it was here. And so
yeah, maybe he'll come back for it.
Yeah, possibly. I don't think he will, but actually he might have to. Well, never mind.
He gets another one here.
But yeah, it's just these little things that could potentially happen that some people decide to do. Looks like Freyas is given up on trying to get drops. Do we actually have confirmation that the atomics drop power bombs?
Polar Bunny in chat said 2%. I assume she looked it up. So, unfortunately, 2%. You know, statistics being what they are, means every time you kill an atomic, it's 2% each time. So it's not like you've killed one already and the next one's more likely to give you one. It doesn't work that way.
So this is interesting from Zeni. It looks like he's going up to the wrecked ship after clearing out the early Norfair items.
Yeah, not a bad choice. You know, he may just feel like, you know, doing the hell runs just doesn't want to do them right now. Wrecked ship, you know, 4 items, 3 of which he can get.
That's a super missile for Freyas. Yeah, I am not a huge fan of early wreck ship without speed booster because it means there's one item that you just don't have access to. But Zeni, he's making the call. And unfortunately, we don't know if it'll pay off or not because some unfortunate circumstances that happened to Freyas with the bad power bomb drops. But guess we'll see. Shoutouts to doing the deboost in Hellway, by the way, with Screw Attack. Those are not easy to execute. Just a little thing there to point out while we have a bit of a lull in the action here.
Yeah, it just goes to show that, you know, powerbomb management is a really big deal early on in Super Metroid Randomizer. And yeah, we were talking about that inexperience, and yeah, I said earlier that Freyas is maybe a little bit more experienced than Zeni, but still, and neither one of these runners is the most experienced runners for Randomizer. And Freyas paying for that now a little bit.
I've noticed Freyas has changed the order that they're killing the first two atomics. They were killing 3 at first, and then they started to just kill 2 because the third one was so out of the way.
Yeah, it's probably smart.
But they were running under the little platform and killing the first one, and then killing the second one. And now they've swapped their order because the first one, the one under the platform, actually floats above the platform while they go to kill the further away one. So I don't know which one is faster. You know?
Yeah, I don't.
Can't really tell, although Freyas definitely seems to think the way they're doing right now is faster. And they got a power bomb. Let's go.
Yay! You see Freyas cheering there. Gotta love the cameras.
Does this power bomb break the other block to right side supers? It does.
Well,
and
Freyas is fine now because these bulls here are they're almost 100% power bomb traps to this.
I was
please
about to say
farm to 5, please.
And for all that trouble.
Oh no.
So, despite what I said about X Factors for Zeni, it looks like he's just going to be doppling Fantoon. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite get the 2-round, but he's going to get a nice 3-round.
Yeah, not really surprised. I mean, he's a new route runner, so you don't really have X Factors available to you when you're running new route. So,
I mean, more than that, he's a Hundo runner, and that's what he's been grinding for a while now.
Okay,
pretty much exclusively.
So Freyas still just with 1 power bomb. Really needs to farm up more. There's other places that they can soft lock. Also, don't like that they skipped those the left side supers down. Because they got the right side. That's the major item. That's the one change in terms of major minor. But not getting the power bomb. Ooh, spiky.
They're fine.
Okay, we're good. That could be another power bomb. And really, they need it. So I would definitely have checked that minor item to see if I could get another power bomb. And in fact, one other thing, I don't think they checked the one minor item that you can get before Fantoon, and that might have been a power bomb as well. Could have gotten that beforehand.
They only had, or they didn't have a power bomb. Oh, right,
they couldn't. Yeah, didn't have a power bomb to open that up, so that's fair. We do
see
a
spring ball.
That would have helped.
You know what else would have helped? The power bomb at left side supers.
Yeah,
they should check.
Should have checked that. Zeni at 15, which is a really good number because that gets you a crystal flash and that gets you enough for Turian if we don't find Ice Beam.
Yeah, Zeni, I won't spoil anything, but he is definitely has the knowledge to do some crystal flash shenanigans.
Freyas, please.
Alright, they're alive.
Yeah, and that reserve, depending on which spike hits you, one of those spikes will do 200 damage. That reserve tank, not going to save you there.
I mean, it depends on how much is in the reserve. I believe if it's less than 60, or if it's more than 60 rather, then your iframes will run out and you'll take a hit right after.
Yep.
So I don't know how much is in Freyas's reserves, so good thing they didn't risk it.
So we got ourselves a spring ball on Zeni's side. Then we got 2 more major items, only 1 more that we can get. Spring ball makes it nice to be able to check that item ahead of time, which is the spring ball makes it very easy to check the item ahead of time. Freyas, go get the power ball. Okay. The spring ball a little bit better because there are a couple places where you need that extra power bomb just to make the jump. 3 should be fine, but man, oh man, I would not go in with less than 5 in this situation.
Zeni also getting a bit low in the spiky room of death. He's going to be fine, but took some more damage than maybe you're comfortable with. And we are at least going to see what is at gravity.
Yeah, I don't think Freyas even checked the item. So
they did not.
So easy to check it with Spring Ball. The argument is that, if you have Speed Booster, then sometimes checking it maybe isn't worth it. Freya's without speed booster. You have spring ball to get through that room. You can check it from behind, especially with that space jump, but again, just the 3 power bombs. The spring ball should help. Okay, we're gonna see it on Zeni's side. Charge beam. Okay, yeah, you want that, but you're not gonna get it.
Yeah, not as required in this logic because of the starter charge beam, so you will be able to finish the game without it. There's a 3rd reserve tank. That's
wow, that was
rough.
a terrible wreck ship. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, spring ball probably saved Freya's a little bit, but
yeah, there's not really a better way to put it. This was a did not pay off for Freyas, and won't be paying off for Zeni either.
Didn't pay off for Zeni either. He's not gonna be able to get that charge beam either.
Yeah, it does equalize things a little bit since he did go back up to the wreck ship. Of course, Freya still has to check. I imagine they'll check X-Ray and Spazer on the way down, which are both nothing, and then has to do Kraid and Norfair. So Zeni's still definitely favored. It looks like Freya's is actually going to be doing the thing I talked about earlier and checking Gauntlet and Edakuns on their way down.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. And in this case, I would consider Gauntlet free. Space jump plus screw attack with 3 energy tanks makes very quick work of Gauntlet.
Of course, we do know it's just an E-tank, which isn't all that bad for Freyas, actually. Although, I imagine they might end up resetting on it anyways.
Yeah, Zeni, meanwhile, managed to definitely avoid the reserve tank sitting there.
So, I suppose we'll be seeing Zeni go do the hell runs in Norfair. I imagine he won't do any Meridia shenanigans, although
he doesn't well, he has spring ball, so he could get to Mama Turtle.
He could get to Mama Turtle. He could technically get to Platoon with double spring ball jump, but it's not something that's
logic. Yeah, not in logic, and they can't. Well, he'd have to get through. It doesn't have a grapple beam to get through the Everest area, so he'd have to. No, he can't do it because he'd need ice beam for the alternate strat, which nobody wants to do. Now, we're gonna get interesting look here. Oh, you know what? Zeni knows where that charge beam is, and he wants extra ammo. He's gonna go ahead and get extra ammo.
Yeah, definitely a good call from Zeni. Unfortunately, it didn't really pay off since it was double missile packs. He's just looking for supers at this point. Wants to get close to that 60 at least.
So a wave beam only Mother Brain fight would normally be 120 shots. With this charge beam, multiply that by 3. So you can get 360 shots. Not exactly what you want to be doing if you can avoid it.
Absolutely. There is still a world where he finishes off the fight with some charge shots if he doesn't quite get to that ammo threshold, but he wants to shoot as few charge shots as he can.
Yeah, and of course that doesn't count the ammo that he will pick up. So yeah, the point being he's going to want to pick up ammo.
Reyes is about to be very disappointed here.
Yeah, I could shaking their head. Yeah, those bombs would have helped. Feels bad.
Feels bad. Well, at least they have them now, so there's still some shenanigans that can happen in Lower Norfair if you run out of power bombs. So having bombs prevents that.
Also, shoutouts to Zeni's helmet now glowing in the dark.
Yeah, it's been like that for a while. I wasn't sure what to think about it. He's definitely got a glow-in-the-dark face, though. And you see the how much space jump and screw attack really trivializes these rooms. These can be very dangerous without a suit, but not when you can just jump through them. So then you're going to be checking the Norfair Reserve first. I believe there doesn't technically have to be a good item at Bubble Mountain. There could be something at Croc, and there could technically be something at Mama Turtle. But it is very likely that he's going to find something good here.
Yeah, like a Various suit. Nice.
Well, that is definitely something good. I will not lie.
And in fact, since he has Taijin boots, it wouldn't surprise me if he took this straight to Ridley. He probably does the other Bubble Mountain checks first, but I could see either way.
Yeah, I'd be more surprised if he doesn't go straight to Ridley with this. Like you said, potentially he might check the other Bubble Mountain items, but
he's not going to Croc.
He's got the ammo to kill Ridley, and he's got the ability to get to Ridley, so he should be going there every time, I feel like.
It's absolutely reasonable to check these. I mean, these are pretty easy to get to right after Lore Norfair as well. So the argument could be made that you just go down right away.
Yeah, it is technically. Oh, sorry.
But yeah, if it's like just our last reserve tank, okay, that was not worth it. But if it's your gravity suit, if it's a better beam, like right now with the starter charge, I mean, a plasma beam would help immensely. It's actually one of the cool things. One of the things I like about the starter charge beam is that plasma beam wouldn't really mean a whole lot in this seed if with that location of that charge beam, because you're probably not going to get the charge beam unless you're really desperate for ammo. Whereas with this setup with the starter charge beam, that plasma now is huge.
Yeah, for those of you who like to get really analytical about things, it is technically faster to check these last two Bubble Mountain items after Ridley instead of before, but personally I'm a fan of checking these now. Just
too many
in case they're anything good. There's too many good items. Like you said, just any beam, gravity suit, speed booster, all of those would be much faster if they were at one of these two locations. And of course we know one of them was a reserve tank, which is rough, but the other one's an E-tank, so didn't end up being correct.
That E-tank, but Zeni should have no trouble with this lava dive, so not too surprised that he skips it.
Yeah, with this randomizer, as well as most randomizers at this point, with Various Suit, the lava will actually do half the damage that it does in the vanilla game. So if Lava Dive wasn't free before, which I maintain for a runner of the caliber of Zeni, high jump Lava Dive is very free.
I would agree.
It's even freer when you don't take as much damage as you normally do.
And when we say it's free, we're specifically talking about the players that we have of this caliber. It's definitely a strat you have to learn and have to practice if you've never done it before.
Yeah, definitely a good strat to learn for anyone. Is any thinking about potentially going to Croc, like through the little secret passage? Gonna go to Ridley though.
Yeah, Croc might have something good, but it's a lot further out of the way. So
didn't get a good entry there, but I don't know why he's worried about that. He's got so much health. Doesn't get a good entry there either, and he's just gonna go. Oh no. He does not get it. He's fine. He's fine. He has plenty of reserves.
Flash.
He's got Crystal Flash. That's very unfortunate, though. It's making it scary. I feel like he was taking a lot of damage from the lava. Is it not reduced in this randomizer?
So what I would do if I were Zeni here is I would have taken the damage to get under 50 and just done the Crystal Flash.
Yeah, it looks like he's just gonna leave? No.
It looks like maybe he's going over to the farm spot.
Maybe. There's an energy refill that he could get to, though. Just
especially with
above.
With that wave beam, easily. Maybe he is gonna go to Croc.
Yeah, looks like it. And this is it looks like he is gonna go to Croc, so he isn't just gonna be farming, but that is potentially just another thing of not knowing the map as well in terms of a randomized setting. Obviously, Zeni has a lot of strats for a lot of rooms, running Hundo,
and he just went by that same
categories.
Refill again. I would have liked to see him take that refill. And 59, he should be fine on Croc, but
Yeah, even just taking that path to Crocomire would have been faster. Plus, he gets the refill out of it.
Yep.
And so, it's another thing that just comes with inexperience of running randomizers. You really get to know the little intricacies of the map. And, Zeni, maybe not as comfortable with little things like that. Not too much of a time loss, though.
Also want to go back to the number of E-tanks that he skipped. Would have been much better off with those. And there's another one. Maybe take this one. Thank you, Zeni.
Yeah, gonna take the refill here, if nothing else. Gonna do a little dance over here. I wonder if he's gonna go check Grapple Beam. I wouldn't be surprised if he just doesn't. I mean, I think he is, but it wouldn't surprise me. Somebody is popping off outside. Well, I hope that everyone in chat's as happy as that guy is. Possibly inebriated, too, if that's your kind of thing. No, it is a Saturday night. You know how it is.
We got Zeni checking more ammo locations.
Yeah, still on the hunt for some super missiles, but hasn't had great luck in finding them.
No, it really hasn't.
Been a lot of missiles, which is expected. I don't know the exact ammo distribution, but it is definitely missile-oriented. I believe it's 3 to 1 to 1 in this?
No, we actually put exact numbers, and I unfortunately I'm forgetting what those exact numbers were, but it's some. Oh, there's a gravity suit. Wow, Croc with the goods. Most likely,
with the goods.
Zeni would have done this after Lower Norfair, but now he may skip more stuff. He may skip Screw Attack. I'm not sure I would, because that beam situation, if you could score a plasma beam, but you could certainly defend skipping it.
Yeah, he is technically go mode if he can do Crystal Flash clip into Botwoon. So I guess not technically go mode in logic, but he can beat the game with these items. Technically. But I imagine he'll be checking most of the items in Lower Norfair. He might skip GT potentially, although with Space Jump Screw Attack that'd be a little bit weird.
He's very good at the gate glitch, so the biggest reason not to do it is if you didn't want to lose all those supers. Zeni regularly gets that gate glitch first try in RBO, so I'm probably gonna check it, but we'll see. Freyas getting their gravity suit. Oh, feels bad. Figures I could have gotten this instead of going direct ship. Probably figures that Zeni went down first, and they'd be right. Except that Zeni made a detour before doing the hell runs.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Obviously, you don't want to look at theoreticals too much here. That kind of just takes away from the runners because they don't have the knowledge of the seed like we do.
Yep.
But you kind of have to imagine the world where Freyas does go down first and doesn't leave to the wreck ship early like Zeni did. They would be very far ahead finding that various dude. And that the only risk then would be if Lower Norfair potentially had like ice grapple and they what happened here?
Zeni?
Anyways, while we get that resolved, there is a world where I feel like he definitely jumped forward more than a little bit. He did. This timer jumped forward. I only half remember the point I was making, but there's a world where Grapple and Ice Beam are both in Lower Norfair, and if they go to Lower Norfair before they check Grok, either runner really, obviously it didn't happen to Zeni because he failed Lava Dive, but there's a world where they get baited into Suitless Meridia, and Suitless Meridia is notably very slow, so...
I mean, Zeni does it very fast, relatively speaking, but even as fast as Zeni can do a Suitless Meridia, it's not going to be as fast as you can do a not Suitless Meridia, so...
I mean, one thing to note, actually, is that having both a different beam combo and the charge beam doing less damage could mess with a lot of muscle memory in Suitless Meridia for people used to doing it in vanilla categories.
That's true.
Just a thing to note. Luckily, it won't happen to Zeni, at least in this race, because he does have the gravity suit. So I imagine he checks power bombs of shame. Gonna do the hundo strat here. It's just a missile,
fighting
though.
all the missile packs.
Yeah, Meridia must be full of those super missiles. Or at least that's what Zeni's hoping for.
Yep.
I wonder if we'll see Freyas go to Crocomire. Doesn't look like it, but their ammo situation is not great in terms of fighting Ridley. They do have access to X Factors, which Zeni does as well.
Only 20 supers. Yeah, Freyas not been checking as much ammo because Freyas did not scout out that charge beam. Does not know that they're not going to get it.
Yep. So Zeni going to be farming up to 30. Another thing to note is if the runners are even like thinking about the starter charge beam that they have, like if they're even considering it as an option. Like there's a world where if Zeni misses a few shots on Ridley, he just goes for power bombs. He does remember the X Factor though. Gonna get a nice I believe that's a real cutie Ridley X Factor setup. Just gonna do one though. But that is an extra 2 super missiles he doesn't need to shoot.
Yeah, I think he missed one of those super missiles too. When Ridley's off screen, usually you don't hit unless he's just barely off screen.
Yeah, he's missed a couple. Gonna need to use some missiles to finish off the fight, but it's gonna be pretty quick.
He's got enough. Yeah, 6
Real nice
missiles
fight
for every
from
one
Zeni.
super miss, because supers do double damage on Ridley.
That was a very clean fight, and his reward is... Drumroll, please.
Speed booster.
There's Speed Booster.
Hey, we can go back to Waterway now. Hey, we can go get that charge beam.
Hey, we can finish the game.
Yeah, that's right, because we gotta have a way to get through Botswoon. I mean, there is Crystal Flash Clip. That's not in Logic, and I don't know that that's in Zeni's skill set.
I believe it is. But I don't know how much he's been practicing it. I've definitely seen him do it. Because he did it plenty of times for low percent RBO, if you remember that.
Ah, yes.
That was a very fun run to watch. It was also a very long run. And Freyas did not get the did not get the gate glitch. That's rough. Luckily, I believe that item was not anything important.
I don't know that Zeni checked it.
He did check it.
Okay.
I don't know what it was. Because when his stream died, when he came back, he was leaving that room.
Yeah, okay.
I'm left to assume it was an E-Tank, because he didn't pick it up.
Yeah, and to answer the question, Chad, about bosses, yeah, Zeni just has Dragon to kill. Freyas has Dragon and Ridley to kill. And Zeni picks up the E-Tank here.
Not sure if he totally wanted to, but does pick it up anyways.
Yeah, I mean, he's been skipping a lot of E-Tanks. It wouldn't surprise me if he just kind of face-planted that one.
Yeah, not going to be too upset about it either, though. Generally, you want to hit 7 E-Tanks at the end of a randomizer run, because that allows you to do the Mother Brain stand-up glitch. It's less important here, because there's a chance Zeni just doesn't go back for charge, especially if he finds plenty of ammo. I wouldn't be surprised if he does.
Although interesting that he's skipping 2 very, very easy ammo checks in the lower Norfair escape. It's always, anytime you can do a check for ammo without a door transition, you're not going to waste you too much time. And he did skip 2 of those, so maybe he's thinking about that charge beam.
Yeah, so what that tells me is that he is going for that charge beam. But it is possible that he's just not thinking about it. Although, that would also be kind of weird, because skipping items is not something you would normally do in Hundo, which, like I said, Zeni has been running a lot of for several months now.
Yeah, I mean, he did come in 3rd place in the most recent Hundo tournament that we had. So he had a very nice run in that.
Basically, in conclusion, I'm left to believe that he will be picking up that charge beam, and here we're going to see a very slow Metal Pirate kill from Freyas.
Unfortunate Freyas' ammo management in general just has not been great.
Oh, here's an X Factor. I like the attempt.
It's creative. Hey, there's one that hit. Another one. Nice.
Honestly, that might be more damage than the charge shots we're doing.
It might be. Like, it might even be more damage, more DPS.
Yeah, the charge shots will do like what, 60? And each of those particles will do 300. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure that was
exactly.
actually faster.
I think so.
Well, if nothing else, we have to congratulate the quick thinking there from Freyas.
And we're gonna grab
there's
that
a spacer
spacer beam because it does give us a better fight. It's still very long, but we're getting there. We're getting there with a better beam.
Yeah, I believe he's upgraded to a 240 shot Mother Brain with those. Although, like we said, he is playing it in a way that seems like he is going to be going back for the charge beam. It's definitely a bit of a risk because I don't know if Zeni realizes he's so far ahead. You know, after the wreck ship gamble didn't pay off, he might be thinking that, oh, well, maybe Freyas just went down
behind.
and didn't go for the gamble.
Oh, I would totally feel
I feel like Zeni should feel behind here, but he's going to check these items. Doesn't quite get over the missile.
Yeah, he probably meant to.
That's where you get that reverse beam mortar tech for the two people that run that. It's me. I'm one of the two.
Aha. Turning off that spacer beam because he's going to want to do some X factors on Botswoon.
Yep. Dragon as well. I imagine he'll be using X factors.
I would have liked to see him farm a little bit. 2 supers is not great to go into Botswoon with, and I do wonder about this because without a star charge beam, he would be in danger of soft locking here.
So what I'm interested to see actually is, assuming that he's getting charge beam, which at this point I think is a fair assumption because he's not finding ammo and he's not checking very much either. I'm wondering, as we're going to see another slow fight here, unless he can hit all these missiles, but I'm wondering what path he actually takes back to the wreck ship.
Oh yeah, he could
Well,
do
actually a slow fight after all.
Could do a Forgotten Highway. Could go check Plasma Beam and go from there.
Yeah, if there's one person that knows that route, there's
Plasma. That's a good idea. That's a good pickup for him.
Yeah, if there's one runner that is comfortable going Forgotten Highway, it is Zeni, the probably the most experienced RBO runner in the game.
For sure. Yeah, and with that Plasma Beam, honestly, now I don't go back for charge.
Yeah.
This beam combination would normally be a 24-shot fight for Mother Brain, so it turns into a 72-shot fight, which is, it's a little bit more than New Route would be with the 60-shot with the Spacer full beam combo. But it's not that much more. I don't think running back for your charge beam is going to save you enough time to justify the I don't think the 48 shots is going to take you that much time that it would justify it.
Can I say that I'm not a huge fan of Zeni farming up to full supers here? Like, he could have just... You know what he could have done? He could have farmed at the ship, and it would have been just as fast, and I would assume he's using X Factors for Dragon anyways, so nice full half, by the way.
Yeah, X Factors and Speed Booster, probably.
Freyas gonna be having a very rough Ridley fight here.
Yeah, that ammo is not great. That starter charge beam with the wave is that's going to be a lot of shots.
Yeah, they did land a few X Factor particles, but not a whole lot. And they did get some power bomb hits as well. I don't actually know what Ridley's health is at here.
Yeah, what I would do with our Freyas, I would fire 5 supers here, leave myself at 15, and as soon as...
well, Ridley's under half.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, this is what I was talking about.
Missed one super though.
You want to get that Ridley under half, and then it's 15 shots. It's actually 14 plus shots from the super missiles, depending on.
I believe
how much
Ridley's
damage.
Dead here though. All right,
Indeed.
Nice fight.
But yeah, it's Ridley turns that color when he's just under 50% damage. So 14 supers might not do it, depending on how he got to that lower damage, and then so 15 supers is safe.
Well, speaking of supers, Zeni farming a bunch of supers there ended up paying off because he didn't quite kill Dragon with the 2 sparks, so was able to just use a few supers to finish off the fight. Is going to check this item, which is not something you'll normally understand, and that's why, because it's not It's not usually something.
Yeah, at this point, the only thing he could get, the only thing left to find is Ice Beam. I mean, I guess X-Ray and Grapple Beam are out there, but we really don't want or need those at this point.
To be fair, Ice Beam does save a lot of time in Turian, especially if you aren't comfortable with the Power Bomb strat in Turian.
Absolutely.
There's actually a couple unique little things that you do.
That Ice Beam would be really nice. It's you save on the Power Bomb strats. Maybe he is still gonna go get this Charge Beam. I don't like this call. You have Plasma. You got a really decent beam now.
Well, the other thing is,
this is not saving time.
How many major items has he not checked? It's just Waterway and this one. So there's a 50-50 chance. Oh, and Check Tool. Okay, there's a 33% chance then that this is Ice Beam.
And if it is, then then maybe you're getting close to. I still don't think the time save is there. I still think it'd just be faster to just go.
I mean, probably, but it's another thing where, Zeni's not as comfortable running with this randomizer logic where he's not really thinking about the starter charge beam. He's thinking, oh, I need to go get charge. But in this case, that's not the right call.
Yeah, now if he does get himself an Ice Beam, it is faster Turian. It is,
that's not Ice Beam.
It is Zeb Skip, although I suspect Zeni can do a speed booster Zeb Skip if he needs to.
All of the 3 items left are major items because there's Ice, Grapple, and X-Ray.
Yep, Ice, Grapple, X-Ray.
That's neat.
Which means we've seen all the E-Tanks, which, looks like we've seen all the E-Tanks.
We've definitely seen plenty. Alright, so I do imagine Freyas will be checking Crocomire here, since they didn't find anything good in Lower Norfair. And so what I was talking about earlier with the whole potentially getting baited by finding Grapple Ice in Lower Norfair didn't end up happening because Grapple and Ice are at Waterway and Shack Tool.
Or did we see? We did see Mama Turtle, okay.
Yes, we did. It was Spacer.
Oh, you know what we didn't see? We didn't see the Sand Pit.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, we didn't see all the E-Tanks then. There's one left. There's so many items in Meridia that are just... You very rarely check items in Meridia unless you get a very early gravity.
Yeah, Meridia is such a nightmare to route in general. So Zeni did not go Forgotten Highway. Did check Plasma in hopes of getting that Ice Beam. We'll see. Does he go?
I imagine he doesn't, but at this point, I'm not sure.
Okay, he's not going to Shack Tool, or at least... Well, I mean, I guess he could do Sandpit to Shack Tool. Like, don't do that, please. Okay, he's going. But is he going to get that Charge Beam?
Yeah, I'm still very surprised with how liberal he's being with item checks when he, like we said, he should feel like he's behind after the early wreck ship gamble didn't pay off. And then he found both suits in Norfair. It's a very interesting call, where he's just kind of gambling on the fact that Freyas also made a bad choice, which ended up being correct.
Oh. Freyas didn't go to Croc. Looks like Freyas is going to bet on Waterway. And honestly, I could see the reasoning here. Waterway's so far out of the way. The idea is that your opponent probably hasn't done this. Unfortunately, it's not going to... Well, I mean, might get Ice Beam, but not going to pay off the way Freyas wants it to pay off.
I think in this case, we want it to absolutely not be Ice Beam or Grapple. We want this to be the last E-Tank, so Freyas doesn't get baited into Suitless.
Yeah, totally agree. And we'll also point out that the logic, one of the big differences in the logic in this version of the randomizer compared to what you might be used to in the Varia is the Sandpit can actually hold the gravity suit. In fact, there was a seed played earlier today. It wasn't on Restream, where the gravity suit was exactly in the Sandpit. And so there's actually 3 locations now where gravity suit can be. So those of you familiar with the 2017 tournament, where we could see it there, this is more similar to that. Now let's see what we get here.
Nope, that's not the direction you want to spark.
Nope. One thing I was going to say earlier, so I don't like that Zeni didn't refill the ship. I mean, he's got plenty of power bombs, and of course he can refill his missiles.
Oh, no. We've got an Ice
It's
Beam.
Ice Beam. So that Ice Beam... No, I think we're okay. That Ice Beam does not open the other 2 Meridia checks. We're still just at Mama Turtle, because we don't have a Grapple Beam.
That is true. I wonder if Freyas will try to brute force it, though. Because it is brute forceable.
Yeah,
With
it is.
the,
The Ice Beam, you
with
get crab
double
climb.
spring
Oh
ball
my.
jump.
Double spring ball jumps and crab climbs, both of which are slow and or difficult.
And I will say this, I'm not 100% sure, but I would not be surprised if Freyas knows how to do those. Freyas knows a lot of obscure tech. It's kind of what, at least I know Freyas for. They run a lot of, I guess you'd call them weird routes, like the old Red Scarlet Hundo route. And I saw them doing half A press, where you hold the jump button down and beat the game like that. There was actually a trick found for that category recently where you can do a mock ball out of a sitting bomb jump, which is really neat. So that actually skipped Spore Spawn in that category. But anyways, we will see what Freyas decides to do here in Meridia.
Oh, is going to at least check Mama Turtle. I feel like this is the... I need to do get a big play in something that maybe Zeni wouldn't do. Freyas definitely feels behind.
Shoutouts to Zeni for going for the fast baby skip, by the way. Doesn't get it, but he went for it.
Well, you know, the nice thing about that fast baby skip, at least, is that not only is it fast if you get it, you get grabbed fast when you fail it, so...
That is true.
We'll be able to refill his missiles at the same time as his energy. I suspect he'll do both.
Yeah, Zeni definitely does not shy away from doing the harder tech in races. That is for sure. We'll see how he decides to proceed from here. I imagine we'll see the speed Zeb skip. He can technically soft lock if he messes it up, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, going for speed Zeb skip.
Doesn't quite get it.
Yeah, this is one of those things with only 35 missiles. Well, he's got plenty of supers. It would be pretty tight to use your supers to not Zeb skip, so he wants to get this, and having those extra supers for the Mother Brain fight will just make it shorter.
Yep, does get it second try. So, not too bad, all things considered. Freyas is fine.
Yeah, Frey's doing a nice job with their suitless Meridia.
Kind of interesting that Zeni decided to use all missiles on Mother Brain 1.
Yeah, probably wanted to save those supers.
I mean, I know why he did it. Just it kind of streamlines Mother Brain 2. But it's a little bit odd to me.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm not sure how many shots he's got left. One of the things I often like to do in this situation is just when I don't want to do the math, I'll just save again, like we talked about the Ridley fight. Save those 15 missiles, because that'll end the. You know when you get to that 15 only, it's when you see the catch up. So you just do charge shots until catch up, and then once you get catch up, you go to the 15 supers.
I believe you actually want to go down to 14 for Mother Brain 2 to be totally optimal. No?
Well, to be optimal, but again, the damage is the catch-up beam will start right after she gets just past 75%, and so unless you know precisely what those charge shots are doing, you want to do the math, then I just think it's safer to go with 15.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's that spazer for Freyas. Not what they're looking for.
Well, we'll see if they go down to Croc, because that's the only thing open in logic for them. Well, that's not true. They don't know what's behind.
No, they never did.
They don't know what's that Wreck Ship E-Tank. Or Wreck Ship Reserve, I mean. Hopefully they don't go there. That'd be real tragic.
And we are going to see a stand-up glitch setup from Zeni. Not gonna do a whole lot here. There's a reason why you usually don't do it when you don't have plasma beam, and this beam combination is weaker than than what you would have, and the if you just had spacer instead of but charge beam instead of that plasma.
So I believe in New Route Any Percent, because Behemoth was testing this back when he was doing world record attempts. I believe stand-up glitch saves around 5 seconds with Charge Ice Wave Spacer. In this case, it's going to save closer to like 4 with the slightly reduced beam. Looks like Zeni's actually setting up for a quicker cutscene, damaging himself down on Mother Brain, or maybe just making sure he doesn't soft lock by getting the baby stuck in a place where Mother Brain can't hit him. Is the baby Metroid a him or a her?
I don't know.
I don't think it's either, actually.
It's possible.
I think I've asked this question on broadcast before.
Okay, so you're getting through. Gonna just fire a bunch of shots here.
Yep, he saved his 4 seconds.
Yeah, as you can see, it doesn't quite save the amount of time as if you have that charge beam.
A 4 seconds saved. You know what you can do with that much time?
Well, you can't go get that charge beam with 4 seconds.
No, you can't get the charge beam. But, you know. Either way, Zeni is on his escape, going to be finishing up in just a minute. Maybe he saves the animals. Maybe.
I doubt it.
I'm still a little bit confused as to why Zeni played some of the situations the way he did. Like I've been saying, I feel like he should think he's behind and should be a little bit more conservative with his item checks.
Yeah, that go mode situation.
You know.
I mean, that plasma beam. I could see looking for a few more things before getting that plasma beam. Once he got that plasma beam, he was in a pretty good position.
Either way, it is going to pay off, and he is going to be done in just a second here. I can't call it official SRL time because we're not using SRL, so he finishes with an official time of 102.13. GG.
All right, with that, Freya's is going to go ahead and forfeit so we can get straight on to game 2. We're going to go ahead and go off the air for a second, or at least Derp and I are going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to get a new seed rolled, and we're going to go ahead and get started as soon as possible with game 2. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back to game 2 of this series between Zeni and Freyas. Zeni having taken game 1. We'll see what happens if Freyas can tie it up.
Yeah, we definitely saw Freyas play very well. Obviously, there were a couple key mistakes. The early wreck ship didn't pay off, and then there was the powerbomb shenanigans where I think they got pretty unlucky with that last powerbomb drop, to be honest. They were at it for a while. But, these things happen. We're going to need to get Zeni resynced up with Freyas, since when he disconnected, he jumped ahead about 30 seconds. Just having better...
The magic of SpeedGaming restreaming, I'm sure we'll get that taken care of.
Shout outs to SpeedGaming. As always. They are cool.
Yeah, I feel like Freyas, did a little bit of deviance on routing, mainly because they felt behind, I believe. Was hoping to score a gravity suit in a bizarre place that maybe Zeni wouldn't necessarily check. Zeni, on the other hand, did all those extra checks when really he was essentially in go mode.
Yeah, obviously we've been harping on Zeni for a while, but he did have a very solid run, even though didn't maybe play out the actual randomizer part of the run at the most optimal level.
Yeah, and it's not like the little thing, like he went up to the wreck ship instead of finishing Norfair. We know that wasn't the correct play from that particular randomizer standpoint, but that doesn't mean that couldn't have been the right play. So I'm not going to fault him for that choice. The main thing that was odd was when he got that plasma beam, which was kind of the last piece of the puzzle to make the finish not too bad. He did keep checking stuff that really I don't think he needed to keep checking. What is this? Another reserve tank. That's just not right.
The same seat again. We did. They found a power bomb.
Yeah, they
missile,
didn't get.
but
I was gonna say this is a super missile, but
everything else has been the same so far. I believe this was a super missile.
Oh, was this a super? The other one was a missile. I might have.
Yeah, the missile was
obviously I
alpha
haven't
missile.
switched.
I think. I don't remember. They don't pay me for this. The joke, of course, is that
we're
we
not
are
getting paid for
volunteer
this?
workers, and we are not getting paid. Well, one nice thing about the early power bombs is it does mean, I believe it means that the item at Bomb Chorizo doesn't necessarily have to be a bomb block breaking item. It could be anything.
Well,
it couldn't be gravity.
It can't be a suit, but it can be it can be anything else. We can also check a few minors on our way up. A lot of runners will check this old brother brain missile spot. Some will go to the left a little bit and check that minor item. Neither one of these. Okay, Freyas is going to check the old brother brain item.
Yeah, it's definitely not as necessary since they all already found super missiles, but it is still a nice thing to find if they find more ammo.
Yep.
Freyas, of course, most likely going to be a little bit hyper focused on their ammo early on, since what happened in Wreck Ship last run, probably on their mind. So that's something you can kind of keep track of if you want to pay attention to that.
Oh, we do get a bomb breaking item. We end up with a speed booster, which is a nice thing to end up with, because now when the runners go through the Brinstar area, they won't have to leave that waterway item behind.
Chat brings up a good point. Finding a second powerbomb pack is also gives you the ability to check Gauntlet if you so desire.
Actually, they could check Gauntlet right now with that speed booster.
They could. I don't know.
I wouldn't. Because that energy. Zeni didn't even pick up the reserve tank. You'd have to pop into the reserve.
Gonna find those high jumps. That's very nice with the speed booster. Not gonna deal with a reduced jump height.
Absolutely.
I'm noticing that Zeni doesn't have the Samus mask on anymore. Wonder if this is a sign that Freyas is gonna turn it around. Wonder if that was the source of Zeni's power.
But yeah, to that gauntlet check, it's definitely not something I would do with the speed booster. But I mean, theoretically,
it is.
I think you could
possible within the rules of the game. Yes.
You'd have to you might not even be able to break all the blocks, but they have 5 power bombs to get the rest. And then 4 to get out. And there's another power bomb. So power bomb's not going to be so much of an issue this time. And bombs.
Okay.
Yeah, and Freyas is not going to be skipping those this time. So we're not going to have any more of the power bomb farming that we had in the last seed, and I'm sure Freyas will be very happy that doesn't happen.
We do see some nice little intended strats with the speed booster. You're able to just run past the gates instead of doing a mock ball. I know some runners opt to just do the mock ball anyways, just out of muscle memory. We'll see if Freyas does that. But Zeni did not.
Yeah, that can actually get you into a little bit of trouble because it's not quite the same. But Freyas looked like they were trying but didn't get it, so we're good. And we're already going to be at 15 power bombs if we want to be. And bombs.
Zeni wants a missile, actually. Not having missiles is kind of rough. But we'll see when that happens.
Also, it'll be interesting to see if the speed booster incentivizes either of the runners to go up to the wreck ship first. With the wreck ship really not doing us a lot of good in the last seed. All it did was tease us with a charge beam that we couldn't get. But this time, if the charge beam's sitting there on the wreck ship reserve, we can get it.
Looks like Freyas didn't check the minor items at the back of the reserve, which isn't too surprising, but is a thing to note.
And 20 power bombs.
On getting that charge beam.
Gosh, if I'm Freyas, I almost feel like the seed is just teasing me at this point.
I was gonna make a note about the waterway check. It's actually very difficult. Not difficult, but most people don't know that you can barely make it without an extra E-tank with speed booster. If you have full health, you are able to make it all the way through, I believe, or at least all the way through the speed blocks.
80 is about what you need. Any lower than that, not only do you not make it all through all the speed blocks, there's a very good chance that you run out of your energy at the wrong spot. And those are Meridia enemies, and those enemies hit hard. So if you're sitting there with a power suit, and 29 energy is what you're going to have left when that speed booster runs out, you are going to die.
Yep, luckily having at least one E-tank from Edicoons, they aren't going to have to worry about that.
In fact, there
was a super missile.
Another power bomb. And there was actually a qualifier seed that had that exact situation where you were in that area with no E-tanks. And I believe it was actually I think it was a gravity suit that was sitting there, and vanilla charge beam.
Well, Freyas not checking all those minor items is paying off. Zeni with the hundo muscle memory, power bombing the blocks there. Like I said, it also breaks open the door, so not all bad. And so he's gonna do that wave gate. Luckily, since he picked up all that ammo, he does have more than one attempt at this.
Yeah, let's say Freyas with only 5 max super missiles is not going to have nearly as many tries at this.
So some people find that to be a little bit easier with high jump than without. Personally, there's a reserve at Waterway, by the way. Zeni will run into that too, though. But personally, I don't really find it much easier. I think they're both equal difficulty. Like once you can do one, you can do the other. You kind of have a feel for when you need to shoot it.
I feel like the high jump one is at least easier to learn, and I have a little bit of an easier time with it. But once you learn to do it without the high jumps, if you know the setup, it's not too bad.
Freyas going for the clip here. Gets
nice. Very nice.
They're gonna skip wave gate? No, they're going back for it.
No, they need a super missile to get out of this area.
Oh, they can't even get out. anyway.
So they may still be skipping that wave gate. Now this time it's just an E-tank, so if you just hope they don't end up getting baited back here at some point later. I wonder if they're just feeling like, well, I've only got 5 supers, and I'm maybe not as good at this trick, so maybe just skipping it. I don't really like the call because, it could have been something good, and it is with high jump boots, and I do think it's a little bit easier, but
yeah, I believe they got a first try without high jump boots, so just maybe not thinking it's worth to just go into it first try, or even just farming for extra supers in the first place. I don't know what happened that made them react like that, but they did not seem very happy with what just happened.
Okay, Freya's gonna go down this time. And this may have been a reaction to how bad the wreck ship was the last time, which, it's kind of unfortunate because it's not always a good idea to play to what your last seed did. Like this seed is really not screaming hell runs. We're not getting a lot of E-tanks. You need 4 E-tanks before the hell runs to bubble out and become logical. I believe it's 3 for the ice beam. We do get a nice plasma beam though.
They do have speed booster as well. And so that plus plasma beam means they have a very easy croc access, having a very quick fight, and having a way to get there quickly.
I think I'd want to have one more E-tank. Zeni's going up this time. Gonna take that speed booster and go straight to the wreck ship.
We'll see if that's the play this time. He does have the speed booster, so he will be able to check all 4 items.
We'll be able to check and pick up.
Yeah.
So this could be a big moment in this.
It's definitely going to be very impactful. I think generally, with all of them, or with a lot of the movement items early, I think if one of these doesn't pay off, then the other player will probably be very heavily favored. Because even if you take one of these gambles and it doesn't pay off, like say you get like speed booster instead of like charge a suit, something like that, like you still have speed booster. That makes up a lot of time. Like it's very underrated, I feel like. Obviously it makes you go fast, but I think people don't always realize how much faster you go through just the entire map with speed booster. So even if you find something like that instead of a big ticket item like a suit or a beam, you still gain a lot from the gamble, and you still have a chance to win through execution. Whereas in this seed, go
ahead.
In this seed, the 2 items that I would consider like really speeding up your movement, high jump and speed booster, were both very early. So I think going for a gamble becomes a lot riskier because you don't have that to fall back on, where it's like, oh, I didn't get anything good, but I got a bunch of movement items, so now I'm fast.
Okay, so Freya's gets that reserve tank. Having a little trouble with the crate quick kill today, but we'll get through it. And then so that essentially puts the hell runs in logic. But with that speed booster, at least you get to Bubble Mountain a lot easier. It's 4 tanks for all the hell runs over in that area, but not really great with 2 reserves. So it'll be interesting to see if they continue depending on what they find in the high jump boots area, and you check ice for sure. What we do next? Of course, we gotta check this E-tank spot too. Oh my God!
It's another reserve
tank number 3.
Well, Zeni doing a new route Fantoon fight here.
Yeah, I also want to point out that Zeni picked up those missiles over the moat to get him to 15, and it's actually a pretty significant difference between 10 and 15 missiles. Anybody that runs low percent ice will tell you that, having those extra 5 missiles makes a huge difference. I actually find, for myself, having 15 versus 20 even makes a big difference, so it's still a very nice Fantoon fight from Zeni.
Yeah, generally, once you have, or like, before a certain amount of missiles, every missile pack makes the fight substantially easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Like up until you have like 25. I think 25 to 30 isn't a big jump, but everything before that makes the fight much more comfortable, especially...
Freya scores a gravity suit, and with this E-tank count, that would send me straight into Meridia.
Oh yeah, you have speed booster as well, so you can go all the way through Meridia. This is definitely screaming Meridia to me, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's the right play.
I might save scum the ice beam. Although this is such a low energy tank count. One regular E tank and 2 reserves. But yeah, I
This very okay.
So both. So this kind of tells us nothing really in terms of how fast the seed's going to be, because
I will say
although
this: I think this heavily
advantage
favors Zeni here.
Yeah,
I think this favors Zeni a lot because he's going to find that gravity way before Freya's finds
for
Varia.
Sure. Now, with only one, let's remind everybody that the gravity suit does give heat protection, not full heat protection. You'll notice those numbers going down a lot slower than what we saw in the previous race. Oh, vanilla ice. Okay.
Vanilla ice.
Vanilla ice. But with only one E-tank, we're a long way from Freyas wanting to make that call of going straight into Lower Norfair without finding a Varia suit.
Yeah, I would definitely tend to agree with that. And unfortunately, Freyas popping the reserves there at the end didn't quite have enough health to make it all the way through. Luckily, they did have a couple extra points of health in the tank. Speaking of a tank, then he's not going to take it.
Nope, he's resetting that now. Very nice. Did the we've seen this a lot lately with the Hundo tournament. The nice bomb jump strat to get over there, because with high jump boots, it's very hard to actually make that jump. It's doable. Easier to do it without high jump boots. Ideally, you'd have grapple for it, but the route that the top Hundo runners take, don't you typically have grapple there? They typically have ice. I do like the call from Freyas for what they know to go into Meridia. This is what I would do in their situation. Unfortunately, it's not going to get them a Varia suit. Might get them some other nice things, but not going to get them that Varia suit.
Oh yeah, I think most people would go into Meridia with the knowledge that Freyas has 10 times out of 10.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
There's some argument, maybe like checking Croc. And there's some crazy people who would do this and then immediately go to wreck ship for some reason. But it's not correct. Like, you always go to Meridia here.
Okay, so what do we see at the reserve tank there that Zeni checked?
That's a great question. Freyas doesn't have enough health to spark all the way up to the item. Luckily, they have bombs.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
Fine.
Oh, God.
And
okay, Spazer again.
Ooh, landing down there kind of scared me a little bit. Could have got slammed by the turtle. Turtle was not yet
chat. Someone help us out in chat. What did Zeni see over at the reserve tank? Okay, none of us were watching.
Literally, no one was watching. I thought it was an E-tank.
Well, Owl says E, so I'm assuming it's an E-tank. Okay.
That really scared me from Freyas there, actually. If Freyas hit that enemy there in Mount Everest without a suit, they would have been dead. Yeah, that was kind of scared me a little bit. But they're fine.
Yeah, I have to do the with this low health, I ended up doing a gravity jump. Now Zeni runs into this E-tank. So wreck ship was all about the Varia suit. So this would have been a great C to do the attic skip. And to be fair, that's kind of, I don't know if that'd be the call that Zeni would make. A little less experienced in randomizers, as we talked about.
It's definitely
it's a gutsy call.
It's not as good of a call in this randomizer as it is in Varia Randomizer, because generally in Varia Randomizer, once you find an item in wreck ship, because of how the game is randomized in that randomizer, you usually won't find anything else, because the randomizer will just place an item in wreck ship as your progression, and then your other progression will usually be in another part of the map. There's full beam combo for Freyas, by the way.
That's nice.
But yeah, it's definitely a more gutsy call in this logic. But I think there's definitely merit in doing it. There's definitely people in the tournament who probably would have done it in that situation.
Sure.
I think notably someone like Ashter
I
would have done that.
His name might come up. Okay, Zeni checking Gauntlet. I don't understand this play variant. Gauntlet can't have your suit, and really that's all he's looking for at this point. I mean, there's some
Well,
nice luxury items out there. Spring balls, yeah, spring balls nice.
He doesn't know if he wants to keep it. The thing is, he doesn't know where any of the beams are because Freyas has found all of the beams besides charge.
Yep.
He knows where charge is. But yeah, he hasn't seen any of the beams yet. So
Oh, he's gonna go for the spark.
that's
out.
what he was looking for.
It's a very tight short charge.
Freyas isn't going to have
There
the
we go.
fastest Dragon. Going for too many Shine Sparks would be very risky.
Yeah.
They do have
absolutely.
the full beam combo, though, so it won't be too bad.
Yeah, with this beam combination, if you just get, I think it's 7 shots, gets you, Dragon has 6,000 health, so 6,000 divided by 900 ends up being a little more than 6 shots, so they'll need 7.
Yeah, it is 7 shots. Generally, when you have this beam combo, you do it with X-ray, and so it would take 6 or 7 X-rays in order
Yep.
to beat Dragon. Wait, wouldn't it be 8 shots then? Whatever.
7 times 9 is 63, so 7.
All right. Well, clearly, I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey,
Oh,
there's a
and
vanilla space
jump.
jump. Gonna be nice. So all of these movement items, the thing you need to note about a lot of these items in Meridia is that Zeni will likely not be picking them up.
Zeni will get the wave beam because you run right into it, but Zeni's not going to get the space jump.
Yeah,
Well,
he
I
will-
say that, but Zeni did a whole lot of extra checks in the last race, so. But he should have that full beam combination by the time he
That
gets
is
over here.
true. Where was Plasma?
Plasma. Spazer?
Zeni thinking about this early.
What is he?
Why is he doing that? You can just jump up with high jump speed booster. You don't need to do like the full early X-ray.
Oh,
Nope. That's what he's gonna do.
I don't like this. Yeah, and actually, it's even in logic. The speed booster plus the high jump boost will absolutely let you jump up very easily.
Well, looks like he's gonna get it anyways.
Okay,
So,
very nicely done.
Very nice.
See what's that X-ray.
Well, an
Okay, he's
E-tank.
gonna
He
take
wants
it.
it to get out.
Yeah, it'll help him get out. And another one of the changes in this version, the environment. I think we saw this with the lava dive. The environmental damage is half to gravity and half to the Varia suit, and so the spikes don't do quite as little damage in this situation. Okay,
Well, in
same
this
pit,
case,
just an E-tank.
they would only do 30 damage in
Yep.
the vanilla game, so
So that's
doesn't
what
really
they'll do here. So it's still
change too much.
safer than like doing it with the outer suit.
true. I think Freyas will actually pick up this super
Yeah,
missile over
I
here.
think so too. Because nope.
Okay.
Well, I mean they've got full beam combo, but yeah.
You still need to
But-
beat Mother Brain 1.
Yeah, five super missiles is really not a lot.
They're
You're
not
right
going
there.
to check Tool, which
I support. I mean, that's such a long
I
check,
guess.
and
They're not
you
checking
have to do ice
Plasma
flip.
either. So I guess they're just committed to going to wreck ship, which is excellent. It's where the item is, where the item they're looking for is. But
Okay,
definitely
there
a
we go. Plasma's
gamble
a
to not
spacer.
check. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a gamble not to check a bunch of the items. Oh, they're not going to wreck ship. Yeah, a bunch of the items in Meridia were left unchecked when you don't know where Varia is. That's definitely a gamble.
We're still so low on E-tanks. I believe, I think they've got 3 reserves. I know they skipped at least one of them.
I do have some good news, and that's that we've found like every major item, so there's going to be a lot of E-tanks here.
There really are. Have we seen Screw Attack?
We have not seen Screw Attack. We haven't seen Grapple X-Ray. We've
Grapple
seen everything
X-rays.
else.
We've seen it, yeah. So, and I think we've seen all the reserves. So, yep. Okay, to answer the question, chat, Various will never ever be required. The Various will always be available before you go to Lower Norfair. Hell runs in the upper part of Norfair, yeah, those can absolutely be required. In fact, they're required in the first seed because Varia was here.
Indeed. Oh, Freyas doesn't have a super missile. Luckily, there's
Unfortunately,
a
that cackle just gives super missiles every
kind
day.
soul there. I'm sure plenty of people are not happy about me calling King Cack kind, but does provide super missiles for those in need, so
Yep.
it's not all bad.
And again, one of those 99-point-something% drops. A lot of these enemies the only reason why some of these enemies even have, the reason why you'll never see 100% drops is because they have to be able to drop health if you're in health bomb.
By the way, shout outs
there
to
we go. There's that screw attack. We have all the
man.
major items. Well, okay, we still have missing.
Yeah, shout outs to the second try quick kill there from Zeni. That was a little bit goofy. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, well, we saw that. Actually, we saw that earlier in the any percent race. Azure did one of those where you don't quite do enough damage to crate for him to stand up, so you get a second shot at the quick kill. So it's kind of a not so quick kill. Yeah, Zeni turning down the reserve tank, so it makes a lot of sense. He's already got that barrier suit.
Is there double reserve in Grade's lair? I didn't realize. It's rough.
And so Zeni's probably going to get this gravity suit pretty quickly. We'll see if he checks other items. From the way he played the first one, it wouldn't surprise me. If it were me, I'd probably just go.
He does have charged plasma, so I assume that might incentivize him to just go more than, not having that charge beam, having a really weak beam combo early on. And he doesn't look too happy about that, but
he's got everything
I think he should maybe be a little bit more excited, because like I said, I think he is in a very big advantage because of this.
Yeah,
because of also finding the Varia ship.
So yeah, he is gonna go get that ice beam. So Zeni is gonna continue to do these checks, but I mean, I would want to pick up he's got enough ammo even. 1520 is a lot more than what you're gonna have in an any percent run. He's in a really good spot to just go to Ridley and then finish off a Dragon. But like we saw in the first race, Zeni just is gonna check more items. He wants more of those luxury items.
Good news is that regardless of how much he decides to check, there's X-Ray, by the way, which is not too bad for Freyas. They still have Phantoon to fight. They can use X-Ray strats on him. But the good news for Zeni is that he will find Wave Beam, even if he does decide to stop checking items, because it's at Botwoon E-Tank, and you'll see that no matter what.
It will be interesting to see if he checks anything in Bubble Mountain.
So he will have full beam combo, and from there, he's very comfortable on items. He's got plenty of ammo, too, to finish the game, so this is basically go mode. And I'm hoping that he stops checking items, but cautiously optimistic. Let's say that.
Yeah. Yeah, meanwhile, Freya's going to go bet on Croc.
Oh,
which
he's
should be pretty quick.
items.
Got the full beam combo, yeah. I hope Zeni at least doesn't go to Croc.
I highly doubt it. Actually, this X-Ray is going to be really nice for him because he still has Dragon and Botwoon, which is significantly more... It saves significantly more time in Meridia than it does in Wrecked Ship for Freyas. That's what I'm trying to say here.
Okay, so
thought about turning it down, though.
So there's an update for anybody looking for the Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer race. That is going to move over to SG2. So we can continue bringing you the SM randomizer here, and everybody gets to have their races done on time and on schedule. So I'll repeat that in a little bit, because I think that actually starts not for about 10-15 minutes. But okay, so then he's gonna get a screw attack, so he's gonna have a really comfy Lower Norfair. He won't get the base jump for Lower Norfair, because that's sitting there behind Dragon. I can't imagine he'd go to Meridia before Norfair in this situation, Lower Norfair in this situation.
Yeah. Once again, with what he knows, there should be no world where he doesn't go to Ridley here. But you never know. What's rough is Freyas is like, they're on the cusp of being able to do suitless Lower Norfair, like just a few more tanks, and with the reduced damage, they could very easily do it. Not easily, but
I
they could
don't
do
like
it.
this. I don't like the super count. Actually, I don't like the ammo count in general. I mean, even with the reduced damage, I'd want to go down with 2 crystal flashes. They've got
Yeah.
1. So and the tanks are not great. It does have that full charge beam, so the Ridley fight can go pretty fast. So you won't have to waste supers on that.
We'll see if they go for it though. But judging by that reaction, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I don't think you do here. I think that's quite the risk. Okay, Zenny's checked all above mountain. Now does he go to Croc?
If he goes to Croc,
don't go to Croc, Zenny.
I'm disconnecting.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna leave you. I can't take it. I don't think he ever goes to Croc in this situation now. But like, what would he be looking for even? Like, there are 2 major items.
Wave
3,
beam and
technically.
space jump are the only things left, and as much as I love my space jump, there's no way I'm looking for space jump if I have, high jump, gravity suit, barrier suit, screw attack to deal with lower Norfair very easily. I mean, not full beam combo, but ice and plasma with charge is a pretty good beam combination.
Well, I have 2 good news. 2 good newses? What's the plural of news? Just news? I have good news for Freyas. A, they're going to wreck ship, and B, Various Suit is the first item in wreck ship, so they will not need to check anything else. Zenny did not quite get that lava spark, but it was a nice attempt.
He'll switch over to the gravity jump.
But yeah, they will not spend nearly as much time in wreck ship as Zenny did, but of course, as a trade-off, Zenny won't be spending as much time in Meridia as Freyas did, and has a little bit of a neater route. But they don't need to double visit Norfair. So Zenny is definitely favored from this position. Oh no!
Hopefully,
Freyas is not going to wreck ship.
No. This is a route you can take to wreck ship.
Are they?
I mean, the only reason.
Okay.
I'm a little surprised they don't go up Red Tower because you could also get the X-ray check on the way up. But
what I was worried about was that they might go...
Shack Tool and Plasma.
Yeah, might go to Shack Tool.
Yeah, I could tell. I was thinking about that too. Like, don't go there. There's nothing there. And of course, Zenny's showing that when you have space jump, screw attack... Sorry, no, we don't have space jump. But we have screw attack and high jump boots. Worse for the game, just not quite the same thing. That screw attack just changes that room completely.
Yeah, having screw attack is such a luxury in Lower Norfair. It allows you to do a lot of faster strats as well, so it is definitely... It does speed you up a little bit, but obviously not required. But it's so nice to have, even the top runners.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a shame that it's not fast enough to get to save you enough time in an 80% run, but it isn't. It just makes you
could say
safer.
That about every luxury item, really.
Yeah, that's true.
People have been saying that about Spring Ball, but obviously nobody's going to be picking up Spring Ball at any percent anytime soon.
No. To be fair, screw attack would be faster.
Yeah, it's just right there. I've seen people do it. I think, was it Chapo that got a sub 50 with screw attack in any percent?
That's pretty good. Also, interesting that Zenny checked the so-called Power Bombs of Shame location. Called that because in any percent, it's considered shameful if you run out of Power Bombs to have to pick those up. I guess he wants more supers.
I'm not sure why.
His ammo is fine. Like 1510 is like the minimum you would run with any percent. He's got 1525. So, yeah, shouldn't have an issue with ammo. Meanwhile, Freyas is going to be in their Fantoon fight. And
gonna hopefully see some X-ray strats.
Yeah, we'll have to shoot one missile to open Fantoon's eye, and then it can just do the X-ray strats. Yeah, we got it there.
Well done.
And fun fact, it doesn't take too many full beam combo plasma shots to kill Fantoon.
I believe it takes 3.
Yeah,
so
3.
Just 2 X-rays is enough to kill Fantoon. For anyone looking to save a little bit of time, not using extra X-rays on Fantoon. And they've got bombs! They can get out of here!
Yay!
Hooray.
Then he's just gonna super Ridley to death and then switch over to the plasma beam he has. Oh, he's gonna switch over to regular missiles, then he'll switch over to the plasma beam.
I believe using charge shots is faster than missiles with this beam combo.
I believe so too. Unless he can get Ridley in that nice pogo, then missiles are actually pretty fast there.
Alright, so
Freyas has that Varia. We'll head back down.
Has a Varia. I expect them to get out of dodge and go immediately back to Lower Norfair.
Is that you gonna check this item? It's gonna be an E-tank. I mean, I guess it could have been still could have been grapple.
Yeah, we don't know where grapple beam is.
And if you're, at this point, he really should know that those are the only possibilities. So why check it if you're not gonna grab it?
I think there's one reserve tank left as well.
Is there? Oh, no.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Well, we saw 2 in Kraid's Lair. We saw 1 in at the start. I feel like there was one other.
Maybe there was. I don't know.
Yeah. Chat make a good point. Wave was still outstanding.
Oh, Waterway. Waterway was a reserve. Thanks.
Okay, there you go.
Chat.
I don't know. I don't know that I checked that location just for wave beam, but that's probably what he was looking for.
I mean, it's just what Zeni is doing at this point. He's just checking the close major items just to top off, get everything he can. He's a hundo runner. He needs all of his items.
He's checking
He
fire.
Doesn't feel safe without him. He's checking it all right. Got that X-ray going.
Oh, there's grapple beam.
Well,
There's no to that. I don't blame him. There's not much that grapple's going to do for him at this point. Although you could use it for Dragon, I suppose.
I mean, if you wanted to be slow, I mean, it's an option. You could do the Zeb skip. The grapple Zeb skip.
The grapple quick kill on Dragon is the second fastest way to do it, so.
Well, he has access to the fastest way to do it.
He does. He does have this. He could do the 2 in blue.
I'm pretty sure he has X-ray. He can just X-ray him.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he does have that X-ray. I forgot he has that X-ray.
Yeah, he wasn't sure if he was going to pick it up. I remember him hesitating. But he will have access to that. We'll see if he's comfortable using it. Luckily, he doesn't have to use it on the harder boss. It's a little bit harder to X-ray Fantoon than it is Batoon and Dragon. Looks like we're going to see a bit of a high five here in the Crocomire farming room. I'm not sure exactly what this room is called.
Okay,
we got a high five.
Please just be farming Zeni. Like when you went down, my first thought was, no, you're not going to Croc, are you?
This is a very slow spot to be farming, though. But I guess. Wait, why is he farming? He has X-ray. Zeni.
Like for a little bit, I could see a little bit of farming for health, but I'm. Okay.
Oi.
Okay. Not going to Croc. Good.
I didn't think he was going to Croc, but it's still. He doesn't need to farm 10 supers for Batoon.
No, he really doesn't.
Oh well.
Okay, Freyas gonna enter Lower Norfair, and one of the biggest issues here for Freyas versus Zeni is just the proximity of where you get out of Lower Norfair to get to Turian from there. They'll have a much longer trip back up than Zeni will from the Meridia Dragon area.
Nice top shelf there from Freyas. Didn't need to fall down into the pillars room to get that spark. I believe that's called top shelf. Might be wrong. Why is? Never mind. I'm not asking.
And Zeni's still looking for items. Wants that? I guess he wants that wave beam.
Doesn't want that phaser beam.
Don't pick up this phaser.
good news, of course, is that he will find Wave.
I mean, when you look at this race, suppose Freyas goes up. I think Freyas wins.
Oh yeah, I think if they both make the same gambles,
yeah,
Freyas probably wins.
Yeah, I feel like Freyas is just, is a little bit better at figuring out, okay, I've got what I need, and let's just go. We saw some interesting routing for Freyas in game 1, but there were reasons for that they made some, they had some issues that made him definitely feel very far behind, and it cost. But in this race, this came down to Zeni made the right decision to go up. Freyas did not go up to the wreck ship and end up losing a bunch of time by doing a whole lot of Meridia, which is slow. And I feel like if they'd done the same route, Freyas would have figured out, oh hey, I'm in go mode, and stopped looking a lot sooner. And we do see the micro strats on Botswoon.
Yeah, I wonder if he realized that after he did all that farming. But that does just go to show you that I was about to say, is he going back for the wave beam right now? He's going back for the wave beam right now.
I could see going back for the wave. It's the only thing I can see. Yeah, I can see going back. He doesn't need to. He can still microwave. He's still very fast, but
whatever.
He can get it on the way out.
It's I was gonna say something, but now I don't want to anymore. But yeah, this just goes to show, like, obviously we're talking about little things that Zeni's doing and not doing, just things that give you the extra percentage of winning, but that's not all. That's not everything that running randomizers is about. There's a lot of big things that go into it, a lot of big gambles that really change how the race goes. And one thing we really haven't talked about is execution, which, of course, Zeni has had solid execution through both races, but
But that's what separates randomizer from a regular speedrun. It's not just about execution. It's also about making those decisions. Where do you check things? When do you stop checking things? Yeah, chat saying 10 out of 10. He's gonna get that space jump. So. Yeah, probably. We'll see. Maybe with that wave beam, he's done worrying about other items.
Yeah, he's got a new route set of items plus old route beam and screw attack. So not like new route at all, or not like any percent at all in general. But he actually is going to. He's gonna spark up out of the room and not gonna check the space jump.
Yeah, not gonna get the space jump. Like, the wave beam was clearly what he was looking for then.
I mean, not too surprising. Like I said, this is new route with a couple extra weapons. So.
Yep. Also, we're not going to be able to do stand-up glitch with only 5 E-tanks, so that's off the table. He could have picked up a couple of extra E-tanks just to do it. It's a little bit overrated. Depends on how out of the way those E-tanks are. I mean, you are talking about a 7-second fanfare for each of them, and then of course, stand-up saving only like 20 seconds or so.
Yeah, Zeni is about 2 minutes closer to G4 than Freyas. Maybe a little bit less than that. So he's definitely still in he's in prime position to win this race. But, doesn't mean we can't be critical of some of his decisions.
Yeah, again, coming down to it's just so much longer to get from Lower Norfair up than it is from Dragon up.
Indubitably. Actually, it's not 2 minutes. It's closer to like a minute and a half. Probably less than that even. But the point is that Zeni is pretty comfortably in the lead. And barring something drastic, I don't imagine that will change. And at this point, I don't really know what something drastic looks like with this beam combo and this much health.
Yeah, and the fact that he can't do stand-up, so he can't soft block and stand-up, that's, often a risk.
Yeah, maybe. We've seen crazier. There's still a lot of game left to be played.
Oh,
Nice
very
spring ball
nice.
strats, by the way. There's your hundo tech coming in. Gonna see a nice little strat here. I really like this. Actually, he didn't do the slightly faster mock ball. You can actually run along the floor in that room and then do a mock ball right at the end, which saves a few frames, but it's a little bit harder. Kind of surprised he didn't go for it, but you know.
Yeah, I just love watching mock balls in this game. They're just so smooth. Such a cool tech.
Oh, that's true. That's not hundo tech. I lied. It's GT Classic tech, I guess. Which is not a category that Zeni has been running, but it is a category that he has run. I think he's actually done like 4 runs of it in total.
Yeah, I think most of them were,
And he's like 5th on the leaderboard.
Yeah, I think that most of them had to do with the multi-category tournament. I think he's probably run 135% GT code more often than the regular GT Classic.
It just happens that way sometimes. Looks like Freyas is going to be entering Turian about a minute behind Zeni, which... So, pretty close race, all things considered. Zeni definitely had the better overall route, but like we've been saying for really both races, made a couple of questionable checks, namely the fact that he was checking anything at all.
Pretty much, yeah. And you know, there's some of these other players he's going to go up against, and even Freyas, if their route had been more similar. I just feel like he's going to be at a disadvantage in that situation, just because he may just continue to look for things while his opponent's not going to do it.
Yeah, I believe Zeni, assuming he wins, I'm not going to call it yet, obviously, but I believe his next opponent, if he wins, is going to be Maniacal, and Maniacal is not somebody who makes a lot of mistakes.
No. Maniacal will will know when he's in go mode, and he will go. And while the execution gap is such that Zeni definitely a much higher execution player than Maniacal. Maniacal is one of the smartest randomizer players out there. He's very good at knowing what to skip, when to skip it, and so that'll be a really interesting matchup if that's what we get.
Yeah, definitely going to be a stylistic matchup with Zeni having very strong execution and Maniacal having very strong routing. But like I said, not going to call it yet. Things can happen. There is still video games to be played. You might get stuck at the Zeb skip for 3 hours. I don't know. Wasn't quite 3 hours.
No.
It was more like 20 seconds, but you know, it is time loss. The race is still close.
Meanwhile, Freyas does get a baby skip, so gains a little bit of time there.
Hey, maybe he saves the animals, you know?
That would be interesting.
It is physically possible. It's in the game's code. You are allowed to do it. So we can't rule it out. However, I would be very surprised if he does.
Yeah, I would be shocked. And Zeni in the cutscene as Freya starts their Mother Brain 2 fight. So this just turned out to be a very, very close race.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely shout-outs to Freyas' execution as well. We've been talking a lot about Zeni's execution being top-notch, which it is, of course, but Freyas has definitely been playing very well himself.
Absolutely.
Now, this was I think we said at the beginning of the first race that this was kind of a battle of two runners who had very strong execution, and we definitely saw that here. You know, both runners fighting Mother Brain at the same time. We always like to see that.
Yep. And yes, to answer the question, chat, we cannot do stand-up here. We need 70 tanks to do stand-up. We only have 5.
Freyas is showing us something. I'm not sure what it is. It's a coin?
Yeah, unfortunately, the camera's not picking it up very well.
Well, they're proud of it, so I'm happy. I'm happy they're happy.
Yeah, Freyas with a big smile on their face. Unfortunately, yeah, it's. I don't know what's worse, you know? Like, you know, in the previous seed, looking for gravity suit, not in go mode, and you see your opponent done, it's like, okay, I can just, whew. And this one, they're gonna see the dot done about during the escape. And that's pretty rough.
Yeah, I do wonder if Freyas thinks they're behind, because I feel like they don't, but you can't really tell. Like,
yeah, Freyas's route was not that bad. Seeing that various suit, I mean, my thought process is, at this point would be pretty much, if my opponent went up first, then I lose. If my opponent didn't go up first, then, you know, I'm in pretty good shape.
yeah, something like that. There is an aspect in running, you know, top runners execution-wise where it's hard not to feel behind, you know. Speaking from experience,
absolutely.
I've raced Zoe plenty of times. I've raced Zeni plenty of times. You know, they're just faster than you. Like, they will play the game better than you, you know? And so it's hard to not feel behind, even in situations like this where there's other ways you can make up time besides just raw execution. So there's always that mental aspect to racing. And Zeni, well, at the end of the day, he completed these seats faster than Freyas as he finishes with an official time of 50 minutes and 41 seconds.
Yeah, GG's to Zeni. And this, you know, I feel like Freyas made up a lot of time towards the end and made this closer than it was looking like.
Yeah, I won't spoil it, but they were within a minute of Zeni. So, had a bit of a faster Turian with getting baby skip. He said, I didn't see, he said Zeni missed.
Zeni missed it, and Freyas got it.
So that made up a little bit of time, as Freyas finishes with an official time of 51 minutes and 25 seconds, so a bit under 45 seconds behind Zeni, and, you know, any race within a minute, you can definitely call a close race. So, big GG to both runners. Both played very well here. Despite us criticizing the runners, they are both very good at both the game and randomizers. And, you know, they should be recognized for that.
Absolutely.
So shout out to them.
This second race was really good.
We'll see if we can get either of the runners in for an interview. I think both of them are generally...
Yeah, absolutely.
They generally tend to accept interviews, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, we're going to work on it. And of course, somebody already put that in chat. Yeah, go ahead and follow these two. Watch a lot of Super Metroid. You watch Zeni do a whole lot of 100% right now. I think he's still grinding that category.
I believe he said he would grind the category until he had a time he was happy with. And he's still going. He's been going for a while, so...
Yeah, I'm not sure
how far he can
what
push
that number
category
is, but yeah, he's been pushing it pretty hard.
And Zeni's definitely the type of person that's not just happy with arbitrary minute barriers. You know, he'll get a time he's happy with soon enough. So be sure to check that out. And like I said, Freyas, does a lot of weird stuff, a lot of unique categories and routes. It's definitely fun to watch. They're super positive on stream. I'm a fan. So go ahead and check them out as well. Doesn't look like either of them are currently
working on it.
Doesn't look like either of them are at their seats, so we might have to wait a bit to see if they will accept an interview. They're both, relaxing, stretching their legs. I don't know. What do you do after a race? I usually don't race with a webcam because this is really the first time that's been available. But I definitely have a nice walk, stretch my legs after a race.
Yeah, it's usually a good idea. Use the facilities, grab a drink of water, that sort of thing.
Even just standing up,
All right. We do have FreyasSpirit joining us. Looks like Zeni's going to pass on the interview. But GG's. Very nice race, the second one. It kind of came down to you going down and Zeni going up, so that was a little unfortunate for you.
The first one or the second one?
The second one. The first one, we can talk about that one too, but you might be a little more happy with the second race.
Yeah, the second one, we thought we definitely think that we had the better route given how close it was. Zeni should be beating us by if we take equal routes, Zeni should be beating us by way more than 45 seconds.
So what I will say, I feel like his route was a little bit better. The problem is he kept checking stuff.
Oh.
Which was kind of odd, because he got the rarity suit, and of course spent all the time, and he full cleared wreck ship, got his gravity suit, and kept, which should have been go mode. But he kept looking for stuff. I mean, he got screw attack, which is nice, and he got, got ice beam, which is nice, and of course he was going to run into wave beam no matter what at bot wound. But I don't know about you, but I would have just gone.
Yeah, we probably would have just gone. The first race, we were super happy that with inventing X factoring the metal pirates on the fly.
Yeah, we enjoyed that. Because that charge beam, that starter charge beam was not. It would have worked eventually.
Yeah, it would have been what 36 shots.
I haven't done the math, but a lot.
So then we just kind of looked at what we had and realized that it was worth a try, and it worked.
Yeah, and that first race, that was a little unfortunate. The power bombs getting you. That was probably the biggest thing. Going into Fantoon, having to get a power bomb just to get out and not soft lock, and just getting the one, so you had to farm the second one. That was really rough.
Yeah, in the middle of that, we went and looked at the wiki to see if Atomics actually dropped power bombs.
Yeah, we figured you did that. I think that's really smart because, if they don't, there's okay, then I guess I am soft lock. So, yeah, a few people in chat looked it up too. So make sure that we knew.
Yeah, that was just inexperience, and honestly, getting within 45 seconds of Zeni in a race is great.
Yeah, and actually, you gained time towards the end. I think your touring was pretty good. You got the baby skip, he didn't. And just the fact that Zeni just kept checking things. But yeah, in the end, when one player has to leave from Meridia, and the other player has to leave from Norfair, it's just that much further you had to go to get to the end.
We thought about going to the wreck ship before Upper Norfair, but then decided not to. So if we just made a slightly different routing choice, we would have had it. But it happens.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see what would have happened had you done wreck ship and gotten that barrier suit. That would have been. But you get that gravity suit. It draws you to Meridia. That's what I would have done. So, I think that routing was just fine. Just unfortunately, the what you were looking for wasn't there. At least you didn't get sucked into Plasma or Shack Tool.
So So actually part of the reason why we did that was because we wanted to show off one of our favorite routes to do, which is if we end up in that situation, to check right supers, and then just check the reserve and gravity, and then loop back through the wreck ship, check the E-tank, and then Forgotten Highway to Plasma, and then go to Shack Toll.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one. You don't get to see that very often, but yeah, I could see that route working pretty well.
Yeah, I guess fortunately that loop got cut short by finding the Varia pretty quickly. It's definitely nice.
As we got towards the end, we were like, you know what? Zeni's the way better player. Even if we win this race, we're probably gonna lose anyways. So we want to show off something awesome.
But that would have been fun to see, of course. I mean, it really wasn't unfortunate that the Varia suit came quickly for you, but yeah, that would have been that is a nice route that you're talking about.
We're super happy with that performance in the second run. Getting within 45 seconds of Zeni is awesome.
Yeah, definitely always good to end a race with a positive mental attitude.
Yep, and I think you haven't played your DAB, right? You're in DAB, right?
Yeah, we're in DAB. We're gonna do that tomorrow evening.
So yeah, good luck with that. I forget, who are you playing?
We don't remember, but we think it's Mr.
I can look it up.
And we haven't done it. And we haven't done a DAB since the first multi-category tournament. So we're just showing up and hitting buttons for fun.
Right, let's yeah. So Mr. Cab. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Mr. Cab, so should be an interesting one. And good luck on that. And also, and anything else you're working on? What else are you working on? Anything else right now?
Tetris has been distracting us from Super Metroid.
Nothing wrong with other games. I mean, Super Metroid near and dear to my heart, my favorite game. But it's there are other games out there too. So,
we think our long-term goal is still to be the best woman at Super Metroid, or to at least have the best time of any woman in Super Metroid. And we're about a minute short of that. And if we just sit down and grind out any percent for a few weeks, we'll do that. But we've been feeling a little bit sick and just haven't been particularly motivated. And inspiration will hit us sooner or later.
Yeah, and I mean the any percent, that one was today as well for you. And the second part where you went back, and kudos for staying with that after the Fantoon death. But you were looking really good on the second round of that, when you went back in there. It's almost a shame that Sierra Station is a thing in Super Metroid, because you can't call it a PB in that situation, because you don't go back to the beginning if you were to finish a run like that.
Yeah, we figured it's been a long time since we've done a race like that. We may as well just play it out and see if Azure gets chain damaged or double catch up.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Because Azure doesn't save, so so if something happens to him, you're right back in it. So yeah. But yeah, GG's on all your races today, and good luck on the DAB tomorrow.
Thank you.
If there's anything else you want to add before you go?
Thank you for commentating and organizing this. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we're really glad to have you. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be it for us here. A reminder that Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer did get moved over to SpeedGaming 2. So if you're looking for that, that is where you're going to find that, over on SpeedGaming 2. I believe other than that, I think we're kind of done with things on SpeedGaming 1 until, let me see, look at the schedule. I'm not going to, see what the next thing over here is going to be, because we are now into, at least for me, we're now into Sunday. It looks like, oh yeah, you're like in the West Coast, so you're still on Saturday.
Yeah.
Looks like the next thing that's going to be airing over here on the SG Live front is going to be a Link to the Past tournament race at 7:20 a.m. Shady Force versus Hayfield Bay. So make sure you tune in for that. Stay up and watch that. The next Super Metroid thing coming up on SpeedGaming Live is at noon tomorrow. That'll be Polar Bear Bunny versus Scotty McBody or Aegis or whatever he's going by right now in a DAB race. So definitely you'll want to tune in for that. And a whole, just keep an eye on the schedule. We've got a whole lot of stuff going on for SpeedGaming Live, and still other stuff going on as we finish up other things on Sunday. So definitely tune in for all that.
Yeah, good luck to Zenny and Ajder and the rest of the tournaments. Really looking forward to awesome races.
Yeah, awesome. And maybe you can commentate a few of those because we need commentators. So.
We will see what our schedule looks like.
Not to put you on the spot, but
no, we'd absolutely love to. It's just that we have 10 marathon races between now and the end of the year.
Yeah, not to mention like real life. But we'll be happy to have you if you want to join us for some commentary.
Yeah, we will be completely free Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evening.
Nice. Okay. Anything else anyone wants to add, either Freyas or Derp, before we wrap things up?
I think I'm good.
We're good.
Ready to go
Thank
to
you so
sleep,
much.
personally.
Yeah, you're out there on that East Coast. It's even later for you. But yeah, so
1:30 a.m. at the moment.
Yeah, so thank you for everybody, to everybody. Thank you to Derp for joining me. Thank you to FreyasSpirit and ShinyZeni for putting on a good race. Thank you, of course, to our tracker, CheatyFace4, the best randomizer tracker in the business, clicking the buttons behind the scenes. Of course, thank you to everyone at SpeedGaming for setting up all these tournaments. And also thank you to my co-organizer, Kip, for helping me organize all the stuff that's going on. A lot of work going on behind the scenes, both now and in the days that led up to this event. So definitely want to shout him out. And Derp, I'll let you close us out.
No, you put me on the spot like that. I don't know. You kind of covered everything, so
we'll leave it at this. We'll see you at the next SG Live race, either Link to the Past randomizer tomorrow morning, or if you're just waiting for the Super Metroid, the DAB at noon.
Yeah, so don't miss it, or else.